Think about this for a moment. Your entire life has been shaped by the things you want. From childhood, you were taught to want approval from your parents, good grades in school, the admiration of friends. Later, you were pushed to want a career, financial stability, love, recognition, and maybe even a legacy. Every step of the way, desire has been the invisible compass that told you where to go, how to act, and who you should try to become. But here's the paradox. The more you desire, the further away satisfaction seems. You've felt it before. The new phone that felt incredible for a week, the relationship that promised to complete you but ended up leaving you even more restless, the promotion that looked like the finish line but only revealed another race waiting right behind it. Desire, instead of fulfilling, multiplies itself. And here's the real question. What if this cycle isn't just coincidence? What if this endless chase isn't the natural way of life, but the deepest prison humanity has ever been trapped in? And what if, 2,500 years ago, one man already exposed this secret, a secret so dangerous that it could collapse the very logic of modern society? That man was Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. And his hidden lesson about desire could completely change the way you see your life, your choices, and even reality itself. When Buddha spoke about suffering, he didn't describe pain as something random. He didn't say suffering was just bad luck or punishment from the gods. He said suffering comes from one root, desire. The constant craving, the restless hunger for something else. The refusal to accept what is, because your mind is always somewhere else, in the future, in the past, in what you don't yet have. Think about it. How much of your day is actually lived in presence, and how much is lived in projection? You wake up not to live the day, but to reach the weekend. You work not to do the work, but to wait for the salary. You eat not to taste the food, but to reach the feeling after. Desire chains every action to a later that never arrives. This is why Buddha called desire the great illusion. Because even when you get what you want, the satisfaction doesn't last. It slips through your fingers, and another craving is already waiting. It's not the object itself that keeps you prisoner, it's the mechanism. The chase. The story your mind repeats endlessly. When I have this, then I'll be complete. But what if that then never comes? What if the cycle is designed to keep you running forever, like a rat in a wheel, convinced of progress, but never actually moving? Buddha's teaching wasn't just spiritual advice, it was a radical diagnosis of the human condition. He dared to say, the world you live in isn't real freedom. It's a performance dictated by desire. Imagine this. You think you're making choices. You choose your clothes, your career, your partner, your beliefs. But under the surface, most of these choices were planted in you by culture, society, family, advertising, the media. They trained you to want what they want you to want. And the more you chase these things, the more you keep the system alive. Desire isn't just personal. It's political. It's economic. Entire empires run on desire. What do ads sell you? Not products, but desire. What does politics manipulate? Not logic, but desire. What do religions promise? Not presence, but the fulfillment of desire after death. Buddha looked at all of this centuries ago and simply said, it's an illusion. You are not free when you are ruled by desire, and that's why his lesson wasn't just about peace of mind. It was about rebellion. A rebellion against the deepest program humanity ever accepted. But here's where many people get Buddha wrong. He wasn't saying you should kill all your desires and become a stone, lifeless and numb. He wasn't asking you to suppress your humanity. What he was pointing to was something subtler. When you see desire clearly, when you stop being unconsciously dragged by it, you create space. And in that space, something else emerges, a freedom that doesn't depend on getting, having, or holding. Think of it like this: a river is always flowing, restless, crashing against the rocks. That's desire. But if you step out of the current and simply watch, you discover that you're not the river, you're the presence that sees it. You don't need to stop the river, but you don't need to drown in it either. This was the heart of Buddha's hidden lesson. Liberation isn't about fighting desire. It's about transcending its spell, seeing it for what it is, a mirage. And once you see the mirage, it loses its power to control you. And here's the catch: once you're free from blind desire, you don't become empty. You become alive. Truly alive. Why does this matter today, in a world so far from ancient India? Because if anything, desire has grown more powerful now than ever before. Think about it. Social media is a machine designed to amplify desire. Every scroll shows you a life you don't have, a body you don't have, experiences you don't have. Advertising has become an entire science of hijacking your mind to keep you craving endlessly. You're told to want more productivity, more beauty, more success, more experiences, more everything, and if you're not chasing, you're falling behind. In this world, Buddha's lesson isn't just ancient wisdom. It's survival. If you don't reclaim your relationship with desire, you'll spend your entire life in a race that was never meant to end. And maybe you've already felt it, the exhaustion, the emptiness, the strange sense that no matter how much you achieve, something is always missing. That's the exact prison Buddha was pointing to, and also the exact key he was handing you. The key wasn't outside. It was always in you. The power to see clearly, to stop running, to return. So now the question is, what do you do with this lesson? The answer isn't complicated, but it is radical. Start by watching your desire in action. The next time you crave something, pause. Notice the story your mind tells you. Notice how it promises happiness if you just get it. And then ask, is this true? Or is this just the wheel spinning again? Then experiment with presence. Sit with what is, even if it feels uncomfortable. Even if your mind screams for distraction. The more you can sit, the more you'll see that the discomfort itself dissolves when you stop fueling it with desire. And finally, remember, Buddha wasn't asking you to reject life. He was inviting you to live it fully, but without chains. Without the endless chase. Without the illusion that something out there will complete you. Because here's the deepest paradox. When you stop chasing, life finally arrives. When you stop grasping, your hands are finally open. And when you stop desiring blindly, desire transforms. It becomes creativity, compassion, wisdom, the kind of desire that doesn't imprison, but liberates. And maybe, just maybe right now, you're ready to taste that freedom. Welcome to Fragments of Reality,